losing their pick of Anubis versus a very strong-looking Cloud9. Tonk, you might say, if you were on the streets of London. But we move to Inferno, the pick of Cloud9 for our second map of the series. Cloud9 will be the aggressors as ENCE will enjoy the luxuries of the CT side. But who will take the pistol? We have double dualies for the likes of ENCE. Valde and Diha are expectant of something from Cloud9. I think Julie's Aura 5-7 have always been a good option if you're in a position where you might see a rush, like Apartments Balcony, for example. Julie's kind of taking over from the P250s recently. We've got flashes being lined up as well as they start to move forward. Diha and these Julies, he is asynchronous with them. He's looking really good with these Julies in Game 1 and Game 2, but there's more work to be done here.
Smoke up on long, but Pius is not playing behind it. He is playing from Arch, and he's able to get one. Molly might not do enough here. Snappy and Madden both here to stop the cross. A clean shot from Snappy leaves Buster all alone. The most recent addition would need to ace, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it here. They're surrounding him. They're pushing him from all sides, almost playing with him at the end there as ENCE pick up a solid pistol. Clearly the plan going right early. They are able to deny the early banana play, and then the players on the A side of the map were prepared for the push. They're able to shut it down. Good start from ENCE, and I think that's what they needed. Absolutely. I think they need a little kick of confidence after losing the map pick that they made, as you can see in the top right there. So to start with the pistol on Inferno will be fantastic, a map with so much history itself. If you looked at the previous version of Inferno, some of the locations it's based on in California, people have been married in. Multiple people have been married there. I believe it's a monastery. They won't let me fly drones there, though. I'll tell you that much. Cloud9 will be on Eco in our second round, looking to get something out early. They'll have to bide their time for now. So wait for the real game to begin. Looking to close it out into Cloud9. I always like to see how people at home are watching the Counter-Strike. So definitely use the hashtag IEM. Show us how you're enjoying the action. What's your preferred setup? Do you have a setup of choice? Or have you had any specifically cool places you've watched a Counter-Strike game in?
Cool places I've watched a Counter. That's a challenge. That's an interesting question. Okay, so I was once in a motel in San Diego.
Oh, a cool place.
I was speaking at a Comic-Con panel.
All
right. I was watching Counter-Strike on a CRT television.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was probably the most unusual place. I was mostly watching the door to see if I was going to be murdered, though. It's one of those kinds of places.
Snappy wants his ace. Oh, Buster denies it. So rude. Picks up the dig briefly, but the anti-eco going about as you would expect.
So what's the weirdest place you've...
I can't think of any, really.
The most interesting place.
Yeah, I did like going to Sweden recently and seeing all the esports like venues and bars they have there, which is just not a thing anywhere else I've been to, really, or at least not to the same extent. So those are always cool.
Yeah, Stockholm is esports. It's just everywhere there. But now the buy rounds are here, so we'll get back into the game. Early AWP for Pius. MP9's been a strong weapon for a long time. Please don't nerf. Love how it is. I'll always head for that rather than a FAMAS myself. Are we going to see a peek? No. Just carefully creeping back.
Whew. Warning shot from Pius. I don't think he'll be so kind next time.
They know where the AWP is now.
Yeah, and it's SMGs on B. They actually started with 3 MP9s on B. Now one of them's rotated away, but that means this flash in, you commit to sandbags. I don't know if this is a great spot still, though.
That's an important frag from Exile. Looks like ENCE were threatening to try and delay things on Banana. And now a rotation may be required. Snappy is almost on an island here on the B-bomb site. He still has an incendiary and a smoke grenade, so he can delay for a while. Which one does he go for first? The smoke is in hand. Jiggle peeking as the grenades come through.
putting the molly in front of the smoke, but it seems the push will come in from Cloud9 regardless. They've got the information, and soon they'll have the position as well. They don't know if the bomb site's completely cleared just yet, and this may buy time for the rotation, but only now is Senpai starting to make his way over towards B. It won't be completely clear as to what is compromised and what isn't, but a bomb's been planted now. I'm sure he's not going to fully commit this AWP, especially with Snappy falling. They'll have to hold on to the remainder of what they have here, ENCE.
Especially when Senpai invests so heavily into the AWP compared to the rest of the team. You want to make sure he can stick with that. So save call made. Cloud9 off to a good start into their T-side gun rounds. This is a map that has been kind to Cloud9. It's been good for them. Even at the major, when they lost against Mouse, this was the map they were able to win in that quarterfinal. So you can see why they would pick it. It's been a real strength for them. And there you go. They can make eye contact again briefly.
Awkward eye contact between rounds. You a fan of awkward eye contact, or do you just avoid it at all times?
Yeah, it depends how I'm feeling on the day. Depends who it is as well. If it's you, James, always awkward eye contact. You've got such kind eyes.
Wow. It's the nicest compliment I've ever had. 2-1. The score is close. The rounds are early, but the series is not. We're in a second game. Again, if you missed the first one, Cloud9 came in strong. They came in like a titan. ENCE, though, will have the lead for the time being. Senpai forced away from his angle. Does he dare go back? He does. Goes for the flick. Nothing doing there, though. Nervous territory on Banana as the grenades continue to be exchanged. Buster getting the worst of it thus far, but no casualties just yet. No stretchers for the time being. Minute 20 on the clock as Cloud9 consider a re-aggression.
They're also poking and probing towards top mid. And because Cloud9 were so active on Banana, the rotate from Madden took a while to get here, but he's finally in position now towards Arch. So he can get that info. He's about to be smoked off, though, and this wrap to the A site looks pretty solid right now, if you can get through this smoke.
How does Marden activate here from that library position? How does he help his teammates? 48 seconds on the clock, a fourth man making his way towards the A bomb site, towards the choke point at the very least. That molly is extinguished by the smoke. That will be a problem. That was surely to buy them some time, and Marden will deliver from that library position. Down goes Shiro. Now there are problems for Cloud9, but there are still 30 seconds on the clock for C9 to deliver, but only 2 players remaining. As we see the kill feed being lit up, Dihar still in the pit position, limiting the support that Buster has, trying to find a way to plant this bomb safely. He'll do what he can, but he is on an island. Buster, 9 HP, trying to find a way to do something here for Cloud9. There's 1 kill. Now it's a 2 versus 2. Where is Hobbit in the meantime? Last seen in the apartments, but where is he now? He's shift walking towards long. This angle surely won't favor him. Hold on a second. Senpai's spatial awareness will deliver the final frag, and ENCE will survive a difficult test on A.
Oh, it's so awkward for Buster. When he spots that shadow, he starts spraying. He thinks he's got the drop on his opponent, but he didn't realize his opponent was actually up above. He was seeing the shadow from the elevated angle. And unfortunately for him, that caught him out. This was that smoke fading and Madden coming in behind it. It's awkward for Cloud9. They were looking for this wrap. They split onto the A site, but it almost looked like they weren't sure what side they wanted to take contact from. I think they were hoping the long players could wrap quicker, but like you said, that molly and library didn't go into position. It made it really awkward for those long players to make their move up. And so ENCE able to get up to a 3-1 lead. They still have to face a bye, though.
Early smoke towards Banana. Senpai's forced from his angle. But it seems that ENCE are massively concerned with the position towards long at present. Not expecting Cloud9 to make a play, as we can see from the radar. He's just fully committing towards the B bomb site. Could this be some kind of information from demos, from habits, from behaviors, where they offer those early grenades but don't press through? Not even breach top mid yet, Cloud9. So is this some kind of hard read from ENCE, expecting the B bomb site with the grenades we've seen towards A?
They got a flash in from Snappy at the ready. Axel forced off, maybe lucky to be alive there, as they saw him for a split second. And now Cloud9 have to consider Do they want to go back towards Banana, or do they think there is this opening? They've seen the presence on B. They're just going to creep up A long.
Now, what do they read of what ENCE have been doing? St. Pius lurking in spawn. He's found a second one, but there will be a trade from Shiro. A fast trade, no less. The bomb, I don't think, has been seen. I don't think it was seen on Banana. I could be wrong here. But the CTs are split either way. 2 per bomb site. Axile with a fantastic angle. Martin walks to his demise, leaving Snappy with a lot to do. Time may be on his side, though. 20 seconds as the bomb starts to make its way towards the bomb site, and surely he is waiting for that objective, but the smoke dissipates at the time to allow Exile to get another kill. And now ENCE are out of position. They are double OP as far as the A bomb site is concerned. I can't see them making their way towards B anytime soon here.
Really cool reaction from Cloud9. You saw them instantly realize there's been a flash into Banana. We see a couple of players. Let's go ahead and take where we think is weak. And they figured A long would be the position that was open. Still, St. Pius was able to bring it back to get 2 kills. But it didn't matter in the long run because they got that trade eventually. Shiro landing the all-important shot with the AWP, and then Axile just made this patient play. Figured, I'm going to try and creep in, see if I can just find a fight. Once the fight came to him, he made them pay. And it is Cloud9 with their second round on the board.
That's a really interesting round to have so early into the half as well. In terms of the grenades Cloud9 threw earlier, the response from ENCE. Now, Cloud9 having gone through long after a second smoke may wonder to themselves what ENCE might have been doing, you know, with the aggression towards Banana and so on. Was that relevant to what they threw earlier? Will they do a similar start to another round and maybe play differently? Maybe ENCE do something different as well. I think we'll have to keep an eye out for that in the rounds to come, as we are only in round 6. Tactical timeout has come and gone, and we'll soon be back into the game.
It also initially looked like Cloud9 were going to double back and go to A for a second, but I think once Axile got that kill, that's when they went back to B. So definitely a really dynamic round from Cloud9 there. Dynamic across the map. Now in this one for ENCE, a couple of weaker weapons in the fray, but not too bad overall. It's going to be Buster leading the way up Banana. We'll touch on that later, as we get the nades exchanged back and forth early. And a very passive setup from ENCE this round, looking much more standard. Apart from St. Pius having the dualies. Not so standard to see in a gun round.
Yeah, not quite his usual affair. Towards the tree, oh boy. Exile has been weeded out, and there goes Buster as well. Great round so far for ENCE. This is the kind of action we need to see from them if they are to take it to a third round. And they are ready for a response on the other side of the map as well. Nafany absolutely drilled like it's home improvement. 5 versus 2 now for ENCE. This is comfortable. This is the big lazy boy chair. They're in the driving seat. They're happy. Hobbit and Shiro have a long 45 seconds ahead of them. Always nice when your first kill is Exile as well. Yeah, he was instrumental for Cloud9 in the first map of this series. Looks to be coming into this one hot as well with 3 early kills. Absolutely neutralized though on this occasion.
I think it's worth touching on Buster being the addition to this squad. The first time we've seen him play for this roster here at Katowice, because this is the first map I've seen where they've switched up a lot of positions in their T-side default. So it used to be Axile being that entry man up Banana with Nafany helping him. Now it is Buster who seems to be the space taker on Banana, with Axile playing a bit further back. So those sorts of changes could take a little bit of time to figure out. With Buster being the recent addition, maybe him and Axile are going to have to figure out that chemistry. And now it looks like it's actually Hobbit being the lurker over towards apartments, which is where ENCE used to play. So a lot of roles shuffling here. And that means we will get to see a little bit of a test as to how up to speed Cloud9 are on a map that they clearly still think is their strength that they've picked, despite having changed some of those spots.
Four to 2 for ENCE. Obstacle avoidance on Banana.
Look
There
at
was
those
fire
AKs
everywhere.
on the CT side.
Yeah, that's always an indication of
lovely.
the success you're having, isn't it? 4 AK-47s is great to see for a CT side.
Earlier group up from Cloud9 this round. They've been defaulting quite a lot. This time, grouping a bit heavily into top mid. The bomb isn't with them currently, so it looks like this is more just some presence, but there's the first nade. A second one picked up by Sunpius. Not that much damage done, and he could get caught if he's not careful.
A surge of Cloud9 players towards top mid. They heard the response in utility on Banana, the takeoff Banana in fact, and they chose to seize the opportunity towards the A bomb site. But can they do more than that? On the sofa, Sunpius will be dropped. 5 versus 4 now as C9 wrap the A bomb site. And it will be cleared, it will be bleached, apart from this position where Valde is in the pit now, trying to stay alive as best he can, looking for another one, but Nafany will just about squeeze him, pip him to the post. An expensive round now for ENCE as Mudden's the only man standing near T-spawn. Not much for him to do versus 4 Cloud9 players.
A much faster commitment from Cloud9. They made up their mind early. They were going to be wrapping this A site. That's a little awkward for Nafany. Didn't realize he had company in the apartments. Madden clearly didn't call ahead of time.
Hobbit still looking for his first kill. Kazakhstan's next top roadman, 2023, Hobbit.
Saw him flexing his muscles earlier.
We did, yeah.
Pointing at that bicep.
I love me some Kazakhstani Counter-Strike.
Always good. Adren back in the day. Ooh.
Yes. The Clutch King with 100 ping.
I remember.
The online era, he played all of the online leagues with 100 ping and still annihilated people. So that was his nickname from me, at least. Clutch King with 100 ping. Shoutouts to Adren. Great player. So much rich history in Counter-Strike. Cloud9 trailing ENCE by 1 round now. We'll still see a buy for ENCE here. There's a mixed bag. There's limited utility. For a CT team with opportunity on a map such as Inferno, to only have 2 flashbangs is not a good situation at all.
Ooh, deep nade down mid, lands dead onto Shiro. Luckily, he is the AWPer, so it might not be as bad as it could have been if it was a rifler having to try and take a fight with half health. This stack from ENCE is so heavily focused on top mid. You can see Dihar also in the mix. He's going to watch the apartments, but it's a quick pop play.
This might work out for the CTs, surely, because how do the T's cross to the site if they hold their position? But they don't know the situation top mid. Valde will get shot in the back by Hobbit. And Exile's here to take down Snappy as well. Problems for ENCE. I think they've dropped the bomb, though. Indeed, they have Dihar trying to make things happen for his squad, but he's got to put out the flames first. There goes Hobbit and Shiro. Stereo frags for ENCE, leaving Buster in a 1 versus 3. He's got a minute to do it. And there are 2 players in the red. They'll only require 1 bullet. This can be done. It won't be easy, though. He doesn't know the climate around his position. What lurks behind the smoke on long? 40 seconds now as we have rifle support in the apartments. 35 seconds on the clock. Trying to figure out
where is that bomb?
Yeah, he can't quite figure it out. Doesn't want to look at the floor here. It is on the bench next to him. There we go. Concealed by the body. Now, where does he plant? 20 seconds, full commit. CT start to move forward, but again, 2 players both in the red swinging out of the apartments. They could both fall very quickly indeed. Buster will see 1, but a trade will be here from Dihar. Another round in the bag for ENCE, but that had to be scary for them.
Yeah, I love the way ENCE played that in the 3v1. You allow the bomb plant, sure, but you've got everyone grouped up, coming in from short and the apartments. You've got different angles of elevation to deal with, and you're all just going to be together in that final fight. This was just complete chaos, though, out through the apartments. And initially, I thought once Snappy went through the smoke, it was going to be an issue, because it looked like the site was lost, and ENCE had a lot of problems towards the site itself. But Cloud9 actually had a couple of players come back, and even that player falling through the smoke that ended up being costly. Still enough money for the buy. Here's a run boost. Sunpius wants the early action, and there's no AWP up against him. He's got free reign at long range. Ooh, actually landed that shot, I think, onto Exile, just through the wall.
Ooh, that grenade. Oh, man, I thought he had that one. Buster will be traded, though, but that's an early disadvantage for ENCE. You can see Cloud9 try to take the advantage. fishing for a second frag. We'll see St. Pius is rotating over. He's got a flashbang, not sure if it'll come in time. Now Snappy might be able to bait them forward, actually. St. Pius will post up, looking for a jump or a boost. Completely rotating position. Confident in St. Pius now, posted up with the AWP. Hasn't been seen yet towards the B-bomb site. Cloud9 just cutting noise and holding position for now. Hobbit still lurking towards A, but how do they get back into this game?
There's been a lot of discussion in the past about Cloud9 being a team willing to go for those dry peaks and whether it works or not. And in that round, for Nafany, it did not pay off for him. He pushed alone, he went down, but Hobbit's position could still be scary. Aggression's coming in. Actually, he hasn't spotted the aggression. Oh, but now he will, and they're both in their backs turned. Hobbit takes down 2, and now they can bring the bomb back to A. 25 seconds to do it.
There must have been a sound cue. Unbelievable opportunity. Hobbit's patience pays off, but D-Heart is still here. They might think the bomb site is free. Will they even check it properly? Shiro's running in with the bomb in his hands on double stack, though. D-Heart can do nothing about that. He has to play off of his teammate here.
They have no clue.
St. Pius has to find something. He's got to find a way. He's got to get close enough. When D-Heart pulls the trigger, down goes Shiro. There's a surprise. Exile takes down St. Pius. 1 versus 2 now. D-Heart touches the bomb. 10 HP. He needs someone to peek. They have to peek him. He will be denied, though. That was a nervous one. But it will go to Hobbit and Exile. Hobbit proving his worth once again.
Yeah, doing a great job lurking over towards the apartments. And as I was saying previously, that's a new position for him. But he's just got such a good feel for the game. Such an experienced player. It's what he provides to this Cloud9 team. And that really was the difference maker in the round. As soon as he caught these 2 players out, they're able to come back. And unfortunately for D-Heart, even though he was a jack in the box, a surprise that just popped out on the bomb site, he can't line up 2 kills, and so it doesn't make the difference. Mag 7 for Madden might be a jumping shotgun play. I've seen it before. Always got to watch out at this half wall.
So rare to see the Mag 7. Fully committed here. Shiro likes a knife ball.
It's almost like a love story where they're just stuck on the opposite side of the wall. So sad.
A lot of action early on in this game.
It is this weaker buy for ENCE, though. The Mag 7 is part of a buy where they go for the investment, but they don't get much for it. So they are going to need something special in this round. See if this boost is accounted for. Well, doesn't need to be.
That timing is brutal. Just as they move away, sees it up close though. It is still dangerous. And there will be a trade, also information. D-Heart will have his head popped off, and there goes Martin as well. Mag 7, we hardly knew yet. 2 MP9s remain though, and they could be dangerous. Make it 1. Valde. One of the more awkward clutch attempts for him. 1 versus 4 on the site with an MP9. Holding an off angle. Hello to Hobbit. Finds himself 2. Can he get to the AK? I don't think he can. Rings the bell, but can't do the rest. Difficult for ENCE. They were broken the round prior, and they're broken somewhat more now. Still in eco territory as Cloud9 tie the score.
Nice isolation of those fights from Valda, and that damage is decent. It's just a shame for ENCE that they themselves are going to be out of cash after this round. I think he had enough for maybe 3 kills with the MP9. That's how many bullets you got, really. But when 4 players are swarming you, no shot, no hope in hell. And I think Cloud9 realized that was the last of it for ENCE. They've got the Mac 10s out. I'm sure they will be looking to make some money.
Oh, boy. You love to see a big damage grenades. All that red. A sea of red, if you will. While this eco goes on, I just need to say that I really want to see Shiro with a beard.
Damn.
One day.
Yeah.
Like a beard out of like the Revenant movie or something. Just a fat, chunky beard, you know?
I feel like he'd grow more of like a long and wispy beard almost. But maybe one day he'll get the full Revenant going. I wouldn't mind it.
Cloud9 will soon be taking the lead in this series. Again, if you didn't manage to see the first map of this series, the pick of ENCE was Anubis. I believe the second one we have seen in Katowice so far. And we saw a very strong Cloud9. Standout performances from the likes of Exile and, of course, Shiro. Both teams fighting tooth and nail for these early rounds on Inferno as well. Got a tactical timeout from ENCE as they discuss the way forward.
Yeah,
how many rounds do you think ENCE need out of this CT half here?
I mean, ideally, you'd probably want like 8. And so that's not going to be easy. I think as long as you keep it fairly balanced, you're open to it on Inferno. I think the question for ENCE is, are they going to be able to make it chaotic in the second half? Because Cloud9's CT sides are generally really solid. Or at least they have been on past iterations of this roster. So if they have a way to make it chaotic on T side, you know, maybe they can get away with it, but that's not easy to do on Inferno. I think we're in a tough spot here, just in general, on this map. Shiro is picking up that AWP on the T side. Some teams like to rock the full rifles instead on this map. Here's Madden up close, caught in the corner. Buster actually bails on it, so they're going to allow Madden to stay safe for now. And he dodges all those nades really well.
Yeah, Cloud9 looked like they thought they were walking into a trap. But they've escaped into a trap of grenades as we see Buster falling. Probably thinking, if he's there by the sandbag, somebody must be around the corner. Disengage, disengage, disengage into the grenades. Nothing but pain can come from that. And yes, the AWP on the T side of Inferno is a lot stronger after you plant the bomb. That's where the real magic happens.
And that's what Shiro's so good at as a player, but he doesn't often play for the picks himself. Maybe needs to in this round because they are a man down early. Or maybe it will just be the execute instead from Cloud9, trying to see if they can get him into one of those post plants.
He's so insanely fast with the AWP. Maybe we'll see a glimpse of that in the remainder of this round. Sampayas moving into CT spawn. He's got no flashes to throw from the well position. So Snappy and Martin won't get any help from him. Making his way towards the coffins though. Maybe that smoke will be gone soon. Bomb thrown from A to B. Exile didn't realize Snappy was there and he's really making this work for his team. Finding a third frag as the bomb is planted. They didn't check it properly. A bait setup on the site from the CTs and that allowed them to win the round easily.
And maybe a little surprising because Snappy is normally one of those B players for ENCE. He's normally playing on that side of the map, but I guess they just assumed he had fallen back maybe into Ruins, maybe into CT, but one lazy clear ends up costing you. And no one else from Cloud9 was in position to push. This was that initial fight. Madden left alone, but maybe this is the reason why they didn't expect Snappy. It looked like it was that player fighting alone. Snappy never really showed himself. Cloud9, normally quite a methodical team.
That is how you bait your teammates, guys.
That's how you do it.
For those of you at home, that is how you do it. Agree in advance. That is a fantastic result for ENCE. But now we focus on round
Buster.
13, and Buster indeed. He's got a very difficult job on this game of Inferno, and it will be shrapnel, a closed casket funeral for Buster. Won't be pretty after that damage. 5-on-3 for ENCE now. Very promising start to this round for them.
I think when ENCE have challenged Banana, it's been pretty effective for them against Buster and Axel so far. They're almost always getting damage. This time a few players stacked towards B early, get them the advantage. And also, again, got to give a shout out to Snappy, who is top of the board for his team. The in-game leader has been playing well all throughout the day, which is always great to see. Another round where Cloud9 need a way back. Maybe if you pressure this B site, there's a chance Hobbit gets overlooked over on A. He could try and cut off rotations. For now, it's a passive setup. Some noise made, and there is aggression onto Hobbit. So 1 kill back, but only 40 seconds for Cloud9 to make their minds up. That bomb's still at T-ramp. This might just be Cloud9 calling this off if they're not careful. They've got to get a move on.
30 seconds will feel like forever for ENCE when they don't quite know what might be happening. Although Sampayos' position will be important, but again, the push is towards B. 2 of the 3 players at present. Down goes Nafany. That might be it. Does Shiro want to lose this AWP? A really hard angle for him to re-peek, and I think he understands that. His 6 is covered by Hobbit, and with that, they will fall back. ENCE will move to 7 and take the lead over Cloud9 as we move to the dying rounds of the first half.
That's the nice thing for the CTs. When there is limited time remaining, you can feel a little more comfortable and confident just swinging a smoke like that. Worst case scenario, you buy a bit of time for your team. Best case, they might not be ready for you. You might just be able to shut it down entirely. But these nades have been brutal on Banana. I have to have a look at just how much nade damage they've done. It's been pretty spread evenly on the ENCE side. So they've been switching it up. Couple of players up towards 100 nade damage. But yeah, really effective in the last couple of rounds. And now Cloud9, 2 safe guns to work with. Let's see what they can do with them. Hobbit wants to get involved, and he nearly had his opportunity there.
How do you play Banana without dying to all of this harassment by the tree?
And with no nades of your own to try and get them back.
Yeah, it's a hero round. Hobbit, he always finds a way. He almost finds a second one through the smoke on Snappy. Feels the urgency, but this time it won't quite work out for him. And he has lost the rifle. Shiro with the AWP now and a bunch of pistols. Once the smoke goes down, they may be forced to head towards A. Perhaps they will consider collecting a rifle in the meantime. How much is there to
risk? He's nabbed it.
Yeah, he's managed to find it, bust up. So now, everybody but the AWP can swing and try and create some space, at least for Shiro. 45 seconds on the clock. 4 versus 2, wherever they choose to go. As we can see, it's going to be A. It's going to be dry. No grenades, no flashes. Just bodies to create space.
And look at this setup from ENCE. Crossfire will be established. Valda should be first contact, and then the player in mini-pick can spring to life eventually.
There he goes, jumping to his doom for the cause. Shiro, not the fatal connection he was looking for, but now he's got a chance. By the double stack, he spots him, but Valde is fast enough. Even unscoped, Shiro can be so fast to find that target, but it won't work for Cloud9 on this occasion. ENCE now moves to 8.
And it is a rare, quieter game from Shiro so far. He normally is a player who definitely favors that CT side for his playing style. So I wouldn't be too upset if I were a Cloud9 fan. But yeah, this is a solid setup from ENCE. They knew exactly what they were doing. Have Valda there on one side, Dihar on the other. As soon as they go into that choke point, they are toast on the Cloud9 side. Final buy, Axel caught out early. It was the nades in the earlier rounds that were doing the work. This time it's the AWP that peaks early, and Cloud9 not ready for it.
He took that in the face like it was pie. 4 riflers remain for Cloud9. Last round of the first half. We see 3-man on road towards Banana. Great timing from ENCE. They'll be comfortable in their 3-2 setup at present. Buster's like, please, I've had enough. This time it won't be so much damage. Nafany will extend the bomb over to his teammate. As the point man looking for the entry. Snap smart and looking for the second. There it is. And that might be the shutdown in the last round of the first half.
Oh, the one bad smoke from ENCE is so costly. Massive gap for Nafany. He just waits. He figures they've put this smoke down to try and compete. ENCE have to try the retake. But this is not looking good. I mean, how do you win this? I think the answer is you don't. Oh, even with the patience from Valda, Shiro just swings him, and the nade won't do enough. Dihar will get one, but it is a parting kill. It is going to be Cloud9's around here at the end of the half. Slowly but surely, the bomb will tick, tick, tick away. And it will be a pretty close half here. 8-7 on the board. Still anyone's game here on Inferno. ENCE putting up a fight, but there's more work to do for them into the second half.
Indeed, there is. That was a very strong game from both sides. And again, ENCE on the back foot. not having won their pick of Anubis first, coming into Inferno, needing to deliver, winning the pistol at the end, but it was definitely a stressful half for both sides. Now the question is, can they keep their heads level and bring things into the second half and take it over the line? Find out after the break.
A much closer first half, this time from ENCE. However, on Anubis, it was their T side that was the issue. They only got 3 rounds in total. Now they've got to show us their T side of Inferno can do a little better. They do have the lead right now, but still incredibly close. As for Cloud9, they want to show that they are a real contender here, and by winning this series, that's what they would be proving. Underway into the second half, a lot of utility at the ready, but a shot from some bias.
Down, Shiro no less. Where are you going? Why are you running? That is quite the way to start the pistol round. Ooh. Oh my God, somebody call an ambulance.
Snappy even forgot his Glock at the start of the round. And some Pius is getting kills before Snappy's even got his gun in his hands.
With an entry like that, you should just drop all the Glocks, man. Play the noughts and the crosses, because that is a wrap. Or is it?
He plucked him out of the air as well.
Players. I know, he really did.
Wild.
Man said, pull.
Oh, this setup doesn't look great for Cloud9. Nafany's the only player really towards apartments. Axal's a little isolated on long, and he's about to be smoked off.
Here come the ENCE players. The numbers game being abused, but Snappy will be enough. Adding to his tally, began this round as the top fragger on Inferno. 15, now 16 kills is Snappy, and nobody really is close. Moving to the T side, he gets to be the aggressor now, and I'm sure he'll add to the tally. Cloud9, might be a case of saving the Kevlar here. Don't throw the good money after the bad.
I gotta say, I'm happy for Snappy. I love seeing him perform like this individually, but Dinko and I have the same fantasy team exactly, except he has Snappy, I have Config. I thought Config will do better than Snappy, right? Not so far at this tournament. Snappy's been fragging. Shouldn't have underestimated him.
He is doing a fantastic job thus far on Inferno, and it's certainly necessary considering how close the score is. A little less close now that ENCE have converted the pistol. Oh, please. I need to see that again. That was so nasty. Man, that was like a slap in the face. Shiro's like, oh, I wonder what's happening down the other side of it. Boom! That was like shooting a bird with a rocket. Like, what is going on? Oh!
He pre-aimed it.
He didn't even need to move his crosshair. He just clicked.
Oh, that must feel good. When you read someone that hard, you say, yeah, I know he's jumping. I know he's trying to avoid the headshot. I'm going to give it to him anyway. Well, there's a force buy for Cloud9. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's your gun, Hobbit. There it is. FAMAS into his hands. Not too much utility for the CTs, so delaying a push won't be their best bet. They're going to have to show solid holds between them.
Oh.
Careful.
Hobbit hopping over to the other side. Now, is there a play here for Cloud9? They have a third player towards this B bomb site. They have some utility in hand as well. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That cannot have been intentional. That is quite the gap we have there. Now ENCE will start creeping. Oh, well, that one is as rough as sandpaper, let's say. Hobbit falls to his death. The grenades will be nice, though. And there are players still here that can do some fragging. Shiro's on the way over. He's got a HG grenade as well. That starts to go flying. Nothing doing, though. 5 versus 3 as they look to plant the bomb, but there are many angles now without these smoke grenades. Nafany just waiting for a peek, and he will find it, but not what he's looking for. Some Piles with a headshot. Shiro and Exile remain, one of which with the FAMAS is still on the A bomb site, so it will be a difficult start to Inferno's CT side for Cloud9.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet for Cloud9 in recent rounds. Haven't seen their individuals step up massively. Even in the rounds they've won, it's kind of felt like the cooling got them into some pretty good positions, but I can't remember too many rounds where we've had an Axile or a Shiro really show up and just take over a round. Oh, Snappy drops. Axile hears it. It is the Mac 10 in pit, so I assume Axile will have this every day of the week.
Very difficult start on the CT side for Cloud9. And there is promise for ENCE. Hobbit seems to have taken leave of his senses there, showing to way too many people. Vertigo will be the third map, should we get there. ENCE will try to make it happen. Not doing too shabby in that respect so far.
Sunfire's tried it again, I think. Not good this time. I heard the one shot being fired, though, so fair play.
Imagine being consistent at doing that.
Oh.
That would be quite something. You can sometimes see snipers when you do have the AWP on the T side of Inferno, holding that angle, waiting for CTs to jump over. But with the P250, very, very nice indeed.
Cloud9 figure they need to take some sort of risk in this round. Currently stacked over towards the A site. Axile with the FAMAS, in theory, from pit, would have a lovely chance to do damage if the play were to come that way. But ENCE are looking at both sides of the map right now, and I think they've realized the path of least resistance is probably towards B. They've got pretty deep up in towards that bomb site, so they will avoid Cloud9 entirely. And even if you get D-High, it's the Mac 10.
Yeah, there's not much for Cloud9 to do here. Exile wants to save his money, that much is for sure. The rest of them can try to fish for something, maybe play for exits, although without the bomb being planted in 20 seconds on the clock, surely they start pressing a W key here now. What a bizarre round in the last 20 seconds, but a bomb will get planted eventually, and most of the threat has been eliminated. FAMAS has been lost. We'll see if he bothers to hunt for it. Maybe he'll prefer an M4. The money is together, so the FAMAS won't be essential.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Dihar on the T side that had that smoke, the one player away from the rest of the pack. So that makes it a little awkward when crossing to B. For anyone playing matchmaking, if you're ever saving, this is a good spot that sometimes people just never check in this little corner. You can catch people out. Some people don't know it's there. I think at the pro level, you would expect it to be cleared. No one coming Shiro's way, though. So FAMAS will be an option, but Cloud9 have enough money for the buy anyway. See if they even decide to keep it.
Well, they very, very focused on the task at hand. That did get a little weird with no smoke here. You could see that the rats were cleaned up by Valde. They tried to hide in the nooks and the crannies. Those were very important frags. That is not where the apple cart needs to fall over for ENCE as they look to build something on their T side. But now the big guns are out for Cloud9. Shiro, of course, will be on the AWP, and they'll need to identify where he might be. This is always an interesting smoke as well, because there are variations of that smoke that create a gap. So the T side have to be real careful about that, and it can just slow down certain timings that they may have had in mind. Creeping through the halls now, as we can see. Banana is secure as well, with little damage early on, so ENCE have a lot of opportunity. They may look to identify the climate of the CT setup before they press onto something. But they've been given a fair amount of real estate early, because you can see they were poking and prodding in the apartments earlier. But they seem to have abandoned that for now.
Oh boy, this is far forward from Hobbit. He hasn't got any help right now. A rotate is coming. He's got to be careful. He finally tucks back into the corner, but the rotate won't arrive in time. It's Hobbit who has to do work, and he does get a double. Bomb site will be falling shortly, but now the CTs start to arrive, and that bomb still needs to go down here.
Waiting patiently for the smoke before crossing. That makes a difference for ENCE. 3 versus 4. That clock is ticking. All coming from CT. That is not known just yet, though. Got Dihar trying to keep Banana honest, but he's close enough to the side to help out. That is quite the grenade onto Snappy, though. 23 HP. There is an incendiary to be thrown by Nafany as well. When does the push come from Cloud9? That is the question. Nafany's the one of the kits, so keep an eye on where he is. He's the one who has to get on this bomb as well. Buster dropped. Here is the trade, though. Down goes Axel. Nafany's still standing for now. There he is. There he goes. And it's too late for Shiro to clutch this round. He will die to the bomb. Can he take anybody with him? He can, but they will lose everything as ENCE win the round.
Yeah, Cloud9 here, almost going down in a whimper right now. They were competitive in that round, but it's just suddenly gone so wrong for them. It was a close first half. ENCE were able to bring back the momentum a bit at the end of the half. And here in this one, Hobbit gets 2 on the hold, but unfortunately, Shiro's AWP never really getting involved on the retake. Some decent utility still available for ENCE. They're starting to run away with this one. And for Cloud9, I think they need to figure out what is going wrong. Maybe it is some of those role swaps or those position changes that are causing some of these issues. But normally, this is such a good map for them. And it's looking a little disjointed now.
ENCE have won every round in this half so far. They are rolling. Cloud9, it's their turn to face a fat deficit now, 7-12. As the pressure will start to rise. They'd love to close this in 2. They won their opponent's pick. This is their chance to capitalize on that. But that chance is starting to dwindle. What can we see from them here? They've got 4 players early towards the A-bomb site. Will we see aggression in the apartments? We can see Exile and Buster towards the pit. But maybe they just read a slow start from ENCE as far as B is concerned. Shiro with the AWP will be given something by St. Pius. Considering the smoke, will deliver it. Now, what is the read from ENCE? Did they expect him to be here alone? Will they take a risk? At least with Mudden. In he goes, all the way towards CT in silence.
Shiro's screwed. How do you ever read this? Okay, you might get to a slightly safer position, but I don't think it's much safer. Madden's got him. This is a free round. Is he going to knife? Surely not. Just take the kill and take the round with it. Cloud9 aren't even responding. They realize they can't even rotate. They didn't think ENCE would take such a big risk, such a big gamble. But that's how ENCE like to play. Up in your face, never letting you breathe.
Nothing else to be done there for Cloud9. I think after they saw the smoke, ENCE knew he was likely rotating his position, Shiro. They took a risk. There were only 2 players on Banana, the second of which was the bomb carrier. So Martin was sent in alone and did the job. 13 rounds for ENCE. Again, they have not conceded a single round in this half yet. They are storming all the way to Vertigo, and Cloud9 do not seem to have an answer on their CT side.
I think from Cloud9's perspective, Shiro took a shot towards Banana early, just trying a random wallbang. So I assume Cloud9 were thinking, okay, we've shown presence with the AWP. It's likely that ENCE will think there's more than one player here with Shiro on the sniper. They would have assumed that the B anchor was still in position. But ENCE were one step ahead of it. They realized it was completely clear. And Madden can often be a playmaker for this ENCE team. Made the perfect play in this round. Only upside for Cloud9 is you can save those guns easily, so you get another gun round. This is starting to get desperate. Still just no CT rounds, none to speak of.
No warp in round 21 for the CT side, but maybe that puts them in a position where they will find a more successful way to secure the round. They've got the utility to do it. Maybe it will encourage them towards some different plays. Hobbit won't be alone on B early on this occasion, but you can see ENCE are changing the pace, trying to avoid grenades at least in that banana position. 500 HP with almost a minute remaining. You don't see that very often for a T side on Inferno. But what is their ultimate plan? They're deep in apartments. They've taken some presence now in Banana and look to take more.
Also happy to move into top mid. ENCE leaving their options open. That smoke will force ENCE back. If ENCE have another successful B play here, this B site has been a problem. And it is a position where Buster has come in and he started to play instead of Inters, who was playing over on A previously. So more role changes. Let's see what Buster and Hobbit can do combined, because it is this B site tested again. Smokes into position. Still a lurk from Snappy. ENCE happy to take their time and see what Snappy can perhaps do. They're taking maybe too much time though. 20 seconds, Nafany hasn't budged. He takes out that lurker, and now the play ready, but Diha hard clears and Hobbit has to fight. He just about gets out of there alive, and now Nafany arrives. Smoke faded, bomb needs to go down, but they're getting all the frags they need. The bomb will get planted, and Cloud9's final 2 players are nowhere to be seen.
Cavalry was on the way, but the horses were put down. And it will be double figures, double the score of Cloud9 for ENCE as they move to 14 to the 7 of Cloud9. They did what they could. I was wondering if Hobbit would even have time to get a reload in with the FAMAS. He had a teammate come to his rescue, but it was not enough. No answers for Cloud9, only questions, painful ones, as ENCE get yet another round on their T side. Beautiful stuff from ENCE. And again, even moving to a third map after losing your first, building confidence all the way.
And I have to stress the point that this is the first map we've seen from Cloud9 where they've changed a lot of those roles. I think that's been a huge part to play, because they've got a different setup now. They've got a different, chemistry on this B site, and that takes a while to figure out. You see here, they go for that boost back from CT at just the wrong time. ENCE are abusing this B site right now. So many rounds have successfully ended towards B. Cloud9 might just have to take a pragmatic approach to try and stop that right here, because what they've been trying has not been working.
A moment to reflect. Cloud9 need to figure things out very, very quickly, because we have a number of problems here. The ship is leaking, the ship is sinking. The ship will soon run aground on Inferno, unless they can do something to turn this ship around. Cloud9, they have offered no solutions in any round versus ENCE thus far, and ENCE are 2 rounds away from a third map, from revenge after losing their own pick. Marden moving up in Banana. 3 starting early for Cloud9 on the B bomb site, so we do see a change there. More than 1 round, Hobbit was alone. Or Shiro. Now they start with 3, but no damage done early.
Looks like they've got more nades reinforced on this B site this time. I think they left a couple behind them, and Hobbit still has a full set. And you can even see Shiro potentially hand-delivering more utility. So it looks like Cloud9 think further utility at B could be the solution. Problem is, ENCE realize Cloud9 have just taken a timeout. So they're thinking to themselves, maybe Cloud9 will switch something up. Maybe it is time to test this A site instead. Cloud9 get back into position in time. Nades start to come up, and it is a very passive setup from the CTs. Not fighting for top mid, instead playing back. Ooh. And losing the early fight.
Big numbers here for ENCE. I was going to ask if 3 was enough for Cloud9, but now it's 2. They've got problems. I'm not sure they can find a crossfire hero either, but they will get some kills. A grenade and a rifle frag from Exile. He's got more to do, but he won't be able to do it. Shiro will finish Valde off though. The bomb's been dropped, collected now, and dropped again. Cloud9 are holding on to this round at least. St. Pius in a 1 versus 2, 18 seconds, and he may choose to disengage. Well, that's the first round for Cloud9 in this half. The first of many that are required. So we'll see if they can find any momentum, but that was so awkward for Cloud9, so dangerous, especially after losing their first player on the A-bomb site. 3 from Shiro to help them move to 8.
And I was waiting to see another one of those multi-kills from the stars of Cloud9, because that's what was quite effective for them on the first map. They just had players getting multi-kills almost every round. Their stars were showing up. This time it's Shiro who delivers. Mr. Consistent for Cloud9 with an important triple kill. And it was a good rotation as well to work with Shiro. He knew he could fight towards long. That's the first step on the road to recovery. A lot more to go, and ENCE have been showing up so far on their T side. Chance for St. Pius, not made the most of this time. Was not an easy shot to land though. And the nades continue back and forth on Banana. Buster always seems to be getting the worst of the nade trades. And with the utility back from ENCE, they'll take that Banana control.
Just a smoke grenade for Hobbit. That and a HE grenade on the B-bomb site. That may encourage a rotation later on. Or perhaps now. You can see Shiro moving over. If he has to hold at that roll position, he will have a flashbang. He can drop at the back of the site. HE proved fruitful, but there's still a minute on the clock. He's held on to his smoke grenade for as long as he can. They can hear the AWP being reloaded. In terms of sound cues, actually, maybe something that we haven't thought about so much. That could be quite interesting.
Looks good for Cloud9. They've got 3 here and the AWP, and the lack of utility against them. Shiro's AWP could be massive on the hold.
He needs to puncture more players as they start to move through. He has a little space to work with, but down he goes. Buster can't find the multi-frag. And surely Cloud9 have to go for this one, even though they're rotating from A. Nafany up Banana, Exile and CT, 2 versus 3. St. Pius post-plant AWP, rather you than me for Cloud9. They don't have a kit either. So many things are not in their favor in this situation. Nafany creeping slowly. Maybe there's a kit on the site. What can they really do in this situation? This is horrible for them.
Yeah, maybe if Nafany got the nade in sooner and got a kill, it could have been a chance, but there's no time. It's playing for exits.
Yeah, nothing they can do but make their way to the site and die. ENCE move to game point on Inferno.
That was a shame for Shiro because there was only really that one piece of utility for ENCE, the molly into towards triple, and he kind of ended up moving towards where that one piece of utility was. If he was playing a different position, I think he could have had a real field day there with the AWP, because there weren't the flashes in play for ENCE. It wouldn't have been easy to cut off that AWP angle, but he missed the second shot as well, and that meant he was encroached upon. Saw Shiro very vocal there, and getting it going. Seeing what they can do here, this time on Banana. Madden trapped in the corner. Hobbit hard swings him, and even though he's blind, he hits the all-important headshot. That's a little more decisive from Cloud9 on Banana. Maybe that's the switch up they called for, with this B site being such an issue for them. Just take Banana early instead.
Oh. Could have been a painful jiggle, but Hobbit manages to escape. He has a flashbang to his name. Inferno has been unfriendly to the CT side of Cloud9. ENCE will give no sound cues away. Now, Cloud9 still have control of top mid, sorry. And they've got 4 players towards the A bomb site. Maybe with that, they're starting to wonder. No sound cues at all. And not 1, but 2 players will start a rotation towards this B position. Now, do ENCE understand the trajectory of that smoke grenade? Does that mean that more players are coming in? Reinforcements are coming in? Does that matter? 35 seconds on the clock. No lurker towards A for ENCE. It's going to be the B bomb site here. Nafany has that flashbang. Here it comes, there it goes, and it was too early. They're not pushing in just yet. Now the T utility comes through, and that will do the job. Down goes Hobbit, completely blind, but there are more to deal with. Nafany will be dealt with as well. Buster, is this the end of the line? He's dropped a bomb in the pool, actually, so maybe there's something to be done here. 8 seconds, but they can't find an angle to stop this bomb plant. 2 versus 3. Shiro with grenades at the back of the site now. He has to clutch it just to stay alive. 1v3, bomb planted, no kit. Shiro just waiting for the smoke to go. So frustrating for him. Walking into a crossfire. Scoping in. Does he find the first one? No. Valde with the swing, and that will be that. ENCE take Inferno, and they force Vertigo versus Cloud9.
Good, solid game from ENCE. They absolutely bombarded that B site round after round. Cloud9 never had an answer. And now against the odds, ENCE win their opponent's pick. We get traded map picks against each team, and we get to decide a map in this series, which I wasn't expecting.
Indeed we do, and that will come soon. But first, it is...